بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وارحم محمد وآل محمد كما صليت ورحمت وباركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. All praise is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I will give thanks to Allah for making it easy and possible for us to be here today and to alhamdulillah complete the series. We've started some few weeks ago. It's ni'mah when you start something and are able to accomplish. It's ni'mah when you have started something and come to an end, but it's not an end, it's a new beginning. We are going to end today with the second part of the phase 5, which is according to the systematic approach designed by the author of the book. But now I'm saying this is the end of the class that we've summarized. We didn't say anything. We didn't read everything from the book. It's just summary. It just mentioned some key points from the book. But for us, you and I, and those of us who are listening to the class, we are beginning. That is, we begin where the seerah ends. We have to start from where the Prophet ﷺ ended. And now we read the story and not only go back to our own or the previous state of doing business, doing things. We have to modify ourselves, try to make some changes, try to do more than we have done before in order to at least benefit from the seerah that we've read. You shouldn't be the same person. I mean, a Muslim should not be the same today as he was yesterday. Every day should be different. It should be achieving. It should be moving forward. And that is how we can, inshallah, be better and meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, inshallah, the best way. So yesterday we mentioned that this phase, which is the final phase, it is the phase that have seen Islam moving. Someone to put it, paradigm shifts. This stage has seen the paradigm shift from being in the state of weakness to the strength, state of defending to initiating attack, to the Meccans who were plotting day in, day out and planning all the time to eradicate Islam. So it was a very significant stage to see Muslims now taking the fight to those who were ready to fight them instead of waiting to defend. And that was very important, especially after the birth of the Islamic State. There's no any reason or any justification to always remain the weak and the one who has to do all the job, defending yourself, defending your family. You have to make sure that you defend by letting the enemy know that you are strong and you can defend yourself to protect yourself. That's in conformity with the statement, with the saying that prevention is better than cure. Prevent the war instead of trying to cure yourself. So that is actually seen in this stage. We've also mentioned a very important issue at this stage, that is Hadith al-Ifk. And Hadith al-Ifk is the tale of the slander, or if you want, the lie, the greatest lie, al-Ifk, which was afflicted upon the family of Ar-Risala, the Prophet ﷺ, his wife, Abu Bakr. And of course, it was initiated by the hypocrites, led by the guru of the hypocrites, the leader, Abdullah bin Ubay bin Salul. But the gravest part of it is that some good souls, wonderful believers, have joined this in this issue, in this case, and have actually transmitted the information across, and they were also being advised by Islam on how to handle things. And we have said yesterday how to deal with issues of community building when we have cases when things sometimes fall apart or some brothers committing some mistakes. Aisha radiallahu anha was the target, but of course the ultimate target is Prophet and Islam for that matter. These incidents happened during the expedition of Bani al-Mustaliq, Ghazwat Bani al-Mustaliq. It was as one of the smallest. It's one of the smallest expedition to. It's a warfare that took place. The Prophet ﷺ attacked the Al-Harith bin Dirar and his tribe. Bani al-Mustaliq is a tribe name. Banu means Banu, Abna, the children of Mustaliq. Because the Prophet ﷺ received a credible information that their leader, or the head of the tribe, whose name is Al-Harith bin Dirar, Al-Harith bin Abi Dirar, is planning and preparing and arranging to attack the Prophet ﷺ. So the information is credible, and the attack is imminent and is real. So the Prophet ﷺ, as we said, that's the major characteristic of this era, is that we don't wait again. When we had credible information, we don't have to wait until we attack in our own home and get our families, children, women, and old people get killed. So with the information being confirmed, the Prophet ﷺ moved to stop him and to fight him, since he has already declared war. So it was very short time, about 3-4 days. It didn't take that long, and the fight didn't happen. They were tamed, and everything was having to be in control. On their way back, and it was a very small expedition, but it has begot so many problems and issues, which has become so remarkable in the history of Ummah al-Islam. It was during this expedition return that the Hadith al-Ifk happened. And that is the Hadith al-Ifk, in which Aisha radiallahu anha was accused of some bad behavior, or she was accused in her honor. So that's Hadith al-Ifk. It was, I think, here on the board yesterday. Another incident that happened during this expedition is Abdullah ibn Ubay bin Salul, although because some hypocrites joined the forces of Medina to discipline Al-Harith bin Abi Dirar, some misunderstanding happened between a Muhajir and Ansari, one of the immigrants and one of the Ansari folks, and they disagree on the water. Just who has the right to drink the water first, and it led to physical fight, and they all call upon their supporters. The Ansari call upon Ansar for help, and the Muhajir calling the Muhajirin for help. Just like what happened earlier time in Medina. And they almost create a situation that is completely alien to Islamic nations. So the Prophet ﷺ came and addressed the issue. So this information reached the ears of Abdullah ibn Ubay bin Salul, the hypocrite, the leader of the hypocrites again, and he said, well, this is what the Muhajirs are going to do now that they have seized our home, now they have taken advantage of our land, now they have become safe, they want to fight us. So wallahi, after this expedition, we're going to separate between who is who. We're going to let people know who is the leader and who is the ordinary person, who is who's supposed to be the head. I mean, between لا يخرجن الأعز من الأذل, those who are elite will be separated from those who are ordinary people. So guess who was there when Abdullah ibn Ubay ibn Salul was making this pronouncement? Zayd ibn al-Arqam was right there. You remember the al-Arqam? His son, Zayd, was right there listening to what Abdullah ibn Ubay ibn Salul was saying. So he went and told his uncle about that. And his uncle told the Prophet ﷺ that this is what Abdullah ibn Ubay ibn Salul was planning. He said, when we go back to Medina, there should be a separation. Those who are the elite, the big dogs, the big guys, the influence should be separate from those who are nothing, the poor and the have-nots and the disadvantaged. So this didn't resonate well with Muslims and the Prophet ﷺ. And Abdullah Ubay ibn Salul himself was hiding track and he came to Rasulullah ﷺ with big oath that I didn't say it, swearing to Allah, I didn't say it, it's fake and it's fabricated. But of course, it was confirmed that he said it. And he has been plotting to cause a lot of problem within the Muslims. And in this phase also, one of the most important things is, although Muslims have taken the other way around in terms of dealing with the non-believers, in terms of discipline, the kuffar, Quraysh, and attacking them instead of waiting, also the power of iman and faith has been demonstrated in the most amazing way by many of companions. This is one of the characteristics of this era. I mean, iman has taken root deeper and deeper into the heart of the believers, to the extent that Abdullah bin Ubay bin Salul. You know Abdullah bin Ubay bin Salul? You remember him? Abdullah bin Ubay bin Salul is what? The chief of the hypocrites. His son, Abdullah bin Ubay bin Salul, is the most pious person you can ever imagine possible. Abdullah bin Ubay bin Salul. His father is the chief hypocrite. He's the general of the hypocrites. But his son, Abdullah bin Abdullah, is one of the most pious, one of the most God-fearing individual young men you can ever imagine. And this tells you something that beware of generalization. When his dad is bad person, it's not necessarily that the son will be the same. Chances are that the son will be like his father, like father like son, or like son like father, which way we want to go back. So it's not always true. So Islam treats individual as individual. وَلَا تَزِرُ وَازِرَةٌ وِزْرَ أُخْرَى. You don't have to generalize and take someone responsible for his father's wrongdoing. So Abdullah bin Ubay was there, and he informed his uncle about what Zayd bin Arqam heard it and informed his dad, his uncle, and the uncle informed Rasulullah, and the news was everywhere. Now, Abdullah bin Abdullah was asking the Prophet permission to take the life of his father. That's what I'm saying talking about the strength of Iman. The Iman has completely overcome the relationship, the family ties and whatever. Iman and believing in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the first. And nothing else should be above it. So when we are believers in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we should consider ourselves as such. I don't look at you like you are just a Muslim, but you are a brother. I don't look at a sister as she's just an ordinary sister. She is a real sister. If you and if all Muslims will consider this, be able to digest this type of concepts, we would really be better off and be able to live in harmony and succeed in our lives. So here is Abdullah bin Abdullah asking the Prophet ﷺ, like, Prophet, if you want me dead, let me do it. I will take care of that. And he was serious. He wasn't just talking the talk. His father one day came attempting to enter to meet Rasulullah, and he prevented him. He stopped him and asked and told him that will happen only if the Prophet permitted him to come in. So he wasn't taking it easy. So Iman in Allah transcends every ties, all type of relationship. If your husband is not Muslim, or your wife is not, or your brother is not, those who are with you in the same belief system, in the same understanding, these are the closest people to you. Of course, it doesn't mean that you should take the rest by surprise and be harsh on them, but I'm talking about your relationship with those who are on the same line with you in Iman should be given the preference, and these are the qualities that we've seen from this era. So this era has really recorded remarkable love for the deen, and how the companions have exhibited their Islam and their love for the Prophet, and for that matter, Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. One most important thing, as we're talking about this era, this phase, the Hadith al-Ifk, slander, or the greatest lie ever in the life of Muslims, is Hadith al-Ifk. In Surah An-Nur, and I want you to actually go back to the surah and read and try to make some sense of what Allah Ta'ala communicated to believers. Surah An-Nur, ayah from 11 to 21 has stipulated these incidents, and the bara'ah of Aisha radiallahu anha, the ayah came to equate Aisha and confirm that he's innocent. Surah An-Nur from ayah 10 ila 21. It's a lot of information. We can't just pass by without mentioning something about that, because it's something that we face, something that is happening in all our communities, in our masjids. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah An-Nur, beginning from ayah 11, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ جَاءُوا بِالْإِفْكِ عُصْبَةٌ مِّنْكُمْ إِنَّ الَّذِينَ جَاءُوا بِالْإِفْكِ عُصْبَةٌ مِّنْكُمْ لا تحسبوه شرا لكم بل هو خير لكم لكل امرئ منهم ما اكتسب من الإثم والذي تولى كبره منهم له عذاب عظيم. Those who brought forward the lie, that ifk, are a body among yourselves. Think it not to be an evil to you. On the contrary, it is good for you. To every man among them will come the punishment of the sin that he earned, and to him who took on himself the lead among them will be penalty grievous. Will be a penalty grievous. Grievous penalty will be upon those who have championed, who have been the lead in this case. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, talking to Muslims, that it's not just hypocrites among you, the believers. There are some of you who have taken the lead in this case. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said also, لولا إذ سمعتموه ظن المؤمنون والمؤمنات بأنفسهم خيرا وقالوا هذا إفك مبين. Why did not the believers, men and women, when you heard of this affair, put the best construction on it in their own mind and say, this charge is an obvious lie? Why didn't you say that? Why did Muslims open their minds, their ears, their hearts to listen to this lie? لولا جاءوا عليه بأربعة شهداء فإذ لم يأتوا بالشهداء فأولئك عند الله هم الكاذبون. Why did they not bring 4 witnesses to prove it? When they have not brought a witness, such men in the sight of Allah are liars themselves. ولولا فضل الله عليكم ورحمته في الدنيا والآخرة لمسكم فيما أفدتم فيه عذاب عظيم. Were it not for the grace and mercy of Allah on you in this world and hereafter, a grievous penalty would have seized you in that you rushed global into these affairs. إذ تلقونه بألسنتكم إذ تلقونه بألسنتكم إذ تلقونه بألسنتكم وتقولون بأفواهكم ما ليس لكم به علم وتحسبونه هينا وهو عند الله عظيم. Behold, when you received it on your tongues and said out of your mouths things of which you had no knowledge, and you thought it to be a light matter, while it is most serious in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. تحسبونه هينا, talking about other people's honor. Talking about other people, you think it's something light, but it is something, it's not light, it's serious in the sight of Allah. ولولا إذ سمعتموه قلتم ما يكون لنا أن نتكلم بهذا سبحانك هذا بهتان عظيم. And why did you not, when you heard it, say it is not right of us to speak of this glory of this? And why did you not, when you heard it, say it is not right of us to speak of this? Glory to Allah, to our Lord. This is the most serious slander. Why didn't you take this stand? Why, when you hear something bad about a brother, you can have a better suspicion, a positive suspicion? Why wouldn't you, for instance, when you hear something about your brother, give him an excuse? Say, maybe he didn't mean it. Maybe that wasn't his mind. Maybe that was his intention. Maybe that's what, give him an excuse. The Prophet ﷺ, and through Allah in the Quran, is telling the Muslims that this is something that we should be doing when we hear something from other brother. يَعِذُكُمُ اللَّهُ أَن تَعُودُوا لِمِثْلِهِ أَبَدًا إِن كُنتُم مُؤْمِنِينَ. And Allah admonish you that you may never repeat such conduct if you are true believers. وَيُبَيِّنُ اللَّهُ لَكُمُ الْآيَاتِ وَاللَّهُ عَلِيمٌ حَكِيمٌ. And Allah makes the signs plain to you, for Allah is full of knowledge and wisdom. And this is how the ayah continue, explaining how we should live together. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ يُحِبُّونَ أَن تَشِيعَ الْفَاحِشَةُ فِي الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا لَهُمْ عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ فِي الدُّنْيَا وَالْآخِرَةِ وَاللَّهُ يَعْلَمُ وَأَنْتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. Those who love to see scandal published or broadcast among the believers will have grievous penalty in this life and in the life to come, the hereafter. Allah knows and you know not. وَلَوْلَا فَضْلُ اللَّهِ عَلَيْكُمْ وَرَحْمَتُهُ وَأَنَّ اللَّهَ رَءُوفٌ رَحِيمٌ. Were it not for the grace and mercy of Allah upon you, and Allah is full of kindness and mercy, you would have been ruined. And then after this ayah, Allah Ta'ala said, يَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا لَا تَتَّبِعُوا خُطُوَاتِ الشَّيْطَانِ وَمَنْ يَتَّبِعُ خُطُوَاتِ الشَّيْطَانِ فَإِنَّهُ يَأْمُرُ بِالْفَحْشَاءِ وَالْمُنكَرِ وَلَوْلَا فَضْلُ اللَّهِ عَلَيْكُمْ وَرَحْمَتُهُ مَا زَكَىٰ مِنْكُم مِّنْ أَحَدٍ أَبَدًا وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ يُزَكِّي مَن يَشَاءُ وَاللَّهُ سَمِيعٌ عَلِيمٌ. O you who believe, يَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا, this is a call for all of you. O you who believe, follow not Satan's footsteps. لَا تَتَّبِعُوا خُطُوَاتِ الشَّيْطَانِ. And if you look at this ayah, if you ponder and reflect, Allah did not say, don't follow footstep. He said, khutuwat. Footsteps. So Shaitan has so various and variegated footsteps. It's not just one. Shaitan will be behind you for many, many years for you just to commit one error. To fall one time and he will be happy. Because he wants to have people who will join him in hellfire. He wants people who will punish him one way or the other. He will be with you. He will force you. He will do many ways, many years. He never surrender. He is so patient. Until one day you fall. So Allah is warning us, giving us, He said, don't follow the footsteps. So it's not just one, there are many. At home, outside, doing business with your friends, in the masjid. So Shaitan has places, he's always trapping you. So don't allow him to trap you down. So you who believe, follow not Satan's footsteps. If any will follow the footsteps of Satan, he will but command what is shameful, because Satan commands what is shameful and wrong. And were it not for the grace and mercy of Allah on you, none of you would ever have been pure. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala purify whom He pleases. And Allah is the one who hears and knows all things. So this is Surah An-Nur from ayah 11 to ayah 21, giving a very clear advice and teachings and how to behave, how to handle each other, how to be each other's keeper. Whether it's an issue between you and your wife, you hear something about wrongdoing about your wife, don't just react. Make sure that you confirm, you're sure that it's happening. And even the Prophet ﷺ, when this scandal was everywhere and he was so dejected, and Aisha was crying. For 3 days she's been crying, night and days, and Muslims were so much in disarray about what's happening. The Prophet ﷺ did not accuse her, Aisha, but he said a statement that is free from accusation. He said, "Oh Aisha, I heard what you have heard. I heard the news that you have also heard about what's going on. If you are innocent, Allah will definitely acquit you. And if you are not, then it's better you rush to repent and seek Allah's forgiveness. Because whoever asks Allah for forgiveness, Allah will grant him forgiveness." This is serious. Your wife being accused. Just imagine someone telling you the same story. And look at how Rasulullah responded. He said, "Oh Aisha, I heard what you have heard. And if you are," and he didn't say if you are accused, if you have done it. He said if you are innocent. He brought the innocence first. If you happen to be innocent, Allah will make a way for you. So which means that is his preference. He thinks good about her. But if it's not, he didn't ask her to park away, he didn't tell her to move out of the house, it's going to be the end of the marriage life. He said, repent to Allah and ask him to forgive you, because Allah forgives those who return to him. So look at the Prophet handling this very serious case in his lifetime. And Aisha said, "I have nothing to say. All I will say is, فَصَبْرٌ جَمِيلٌ فَصَبْرٌ جَمِيلٌ. All that I will say is, I will be patient until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decide in the case." This is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Surah Nur was revealed with all these decisive, clear ayats from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And among those who have been lashed because of lack of evidence, and they have also joined the group who were spreading the word, is Mistah ibn Uthatha. I said yesterday about Mistah. His name is Mistah. He is Abu Bakr's. These are the names. They are not mentioned too frequently in Mistah ibn Uthatha is one of the Mistah ibn Uthatha. Mistah. Mistah ibn Uthatha was one of the few Muslims who were involved in this spreading it. And also Hassan bin Thabit. Do you remember Hassan bin Thabit? Who is Hassan bin Thabit? Hassan bin Thabit. Hassan bin Thabit is also part of this, and Hamna bint Jahsh, a woman was part of it too. So it's not only men, so the sisters will not be too happy. Hamna bint Jahsh. She's the sister of Zainab bint Jahsh. These are the major names or the famous names in this incident of Hadith al-Ifk. And all of these three were lashed 80 lashes. Each one had 80 for lying and for spreading a lie without any evidence. So Hassan bin Thabit was a poet, and he has defended Islam, but when it comes to, when it comes to right judgment, when it comes to justice, there's nothing that you are my father, or you are my son or daughter, you fall. And you can stand tall, you can make tawbah and go back to Allah. But Hassan was, so Mistah bin Uthatha, Hassan bin Thabit, and Amna bint Jahsh. Amna. Bint Jahsh. These three were lashed, 80 lashes each, for causing this harm on an innocent figure in Islam, individual, without evidence. So if you lie today, especially because it's a lie about honor, it's not just saying that you say, I said. It's not, this is not the part of it. We're talking about the big lie that you accuse a woman of committing adultery and you don't have any evidence. If it's confirmed by the judge and the ruler, then this what's going to happen to you. You get lashed 80 times. If you die, Allah forgives you. If you're saved, that is your. Just to clean, it's not about punishment. It's not about Islam being wicked like those who want to wait into it. It's about making sure that the community is free from this type of social vices. So if you know that without any confirmation, you don't have any evidence, then you would think 25,000 times before you circulate any scandal. Now,
how should we treat the Sahaba who got involved in things like this, who made big mistakes, such as Hassan bin Thabit, who is considered a great example because of the amazing poetry, and yet was involved in it? Should we be careful about taking our example from someone like him, or should we just say this was just one-off mistake and forgiven and that's fine?
Yeah, that's a very important question. The question is, how would we look at this individual? How would we relate to them? Should we continue to take from them, learn from them, and make them our example because they are companions? They are companions of the Prophet ﷺ. And the answer is yes. I mean, falling one time doesn't mean that you are not Sahabi. Sahabas have made many different mistakes. Maybe, who knows, when it was weakness, some of weakness. A person can fall. But the good news is that they all repent, they all ask Allah forgive them, and they became clean. Just like Adam alayhi salam made a mistake, and Allah said, Khalas, Adam. So that's why Muslims, we don't have to say, we still carry the Adam's sin. In Islam, that doesn't stand. In other religions, they consider that we all, what's our fault, we are all responsible for the sin committed by Adam alayhi salam. It doesn't make to me as a Muslim and all of Muslims, how can one be responsible for Adam's sin? So, Islamically speaking, we are not responsible for Adam's sin. Islamically speaking, those who make mistakes should not be looked upon as people who have no values or we cannot listen to them. It's a mistake. There's something that happened one time and they repent, they ask Allah for forgiveness, and Allah forgiving them. Allah tuhibbuna for Allah. So it's happening. And many Sahabas did so many mistakes, killed each other, many big mistakes. But inshallah, what we're talking about, as long as the person did not dwell on the mistake, it didn't continue to perpetuate, to do this, continue without making the tawbah now. This is something that happened, something that is a mistake, and Allah has forgiven them for the tawbah and had acquitted Aisha, cleared her from it. And we, as we are talking today, to learn from all these mistakes so that we should not repeat it and we should be able to keep ourselves away from this issue. So, no, inshallah, we say learn from his poets, memorize the poets, and get reward for that, and read their history, the biography, and learn from their great service to Islam. These are the warriors, these are the vanguard, the first defense of Islam. These are the people who like Hassan and many of these Sahabas who committed some mistakes. These are the people who were the Badris. And the Prophet ﷺ look at people of Badr and say, when a person who was part of the Badr, the battle of Badr, and he made a mistake, the Prophet ﷺ will say, who knows? How do you know? Maybe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has forgiven them and asked them to do whatever they want, to do as they wish. That is how much the ajr of Badr. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, how do you know? Maybe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has forgiven them all the sins and allow them to do what as they will. So it doesn't mean that they should commit all mistakes, but it's like attending the Ghazwat Badr itself is huge thing. So it's very important that we look at Sahabas with this, and we shouldn't belittle them because of some mistakes that committed, and that's a very good question, inshallah. And after this comes another very important point at this phase is Umratul Hudaybiyah or Sulh al-Hudaybiyah. Sulh al-Hudaybiyah, the Prophet ﷺ had a dream that he went to Mecca, that he shaved his hair, that he he did all the rituals of Hajj. So he informed the companions and they were happy and joyous. Then soon after that, the Prophet ﷺ prepared to go to Mecca to make Umrah. So this is, of course, the time when Islam is strong, and the Meccans, they don't take Muslims lightly. When Muslims move with about 1,500 strong people going to Umrah, they sent one of the companions to go and inform the Meccans that we are coming to fight, we're not coming for any thing except to perform Umrah and go back to Medina. And the Prophet ﷺ did not even allow them to take their ammunition. He told them, we're going for peaceful reason. There's no need to carry your firearms. So they left the ammunition, and the Prophet ﷺ sent one of Khurash bin Umayyah, or Kharash bin Umayyah. His name is Kharash bin Umayyah, was sent to deliver the message. But unfortunately, Ikrimah, son of Abu Jahl, stopped him and killed his camel, and they almost tried to take him hostage, but he was saved by his people in Mecca, so he couldn't deliver the message. So Kharash bin Umayyah could not deliver the message, and the Prophet ﷺ decided to send Umar, but then Umar said, Prophet ﷺ, I have big issue over there, and it's not going to work for Islam if I go to Mecca. I think Uthman will be the right person. This tells you, this is what you always have to see, how the companions how the Sahabas, are so eager to help Islam, and how they, give the mashura to the Prophet ﷺ. So if you become a leader or the person in the Jama'ah, your ideas should not be, and you don't keep your ideas to yourselves. Share the ideas, and it's not wrong for you to even say a different idea than that of the Amir or the leader. So the Prophet ﷺ went to send Omar, and Omar said, the Prophet, I'm not the right person to go now, because it's not easy for me to get into Mecca, but Uthman bin Affan would be the right person. So Uthman ultimately was sent by the Prophet to Mecca to deliver the message that the Prophet ﷺ is coming not for fight, he's not intended to fight, it's for peace and to do Umrah. Uthman stayed there for 3 nights and without any return. He didn't return, and the rumors was everywhere that Uthman bin Affan was killed with 10 of his people who went with him. So the rumors was everywhere. Uthman was killed, and the Prophet ﷺ said, if Uthman was killed, then these people, the Meccans, have invited war, and they will be blamed for that. So that is what leads to what is known in the history of Islam as what? Sulh al-Udaybiyah. Sulh al-Udaybiyah, but Sulh al-Udaybiyah came after Bay'at al-Ridwan. So the Prophet ﷺ said, we didn't come out for war. We didn't prepare for any warfare, but with this, Uthman to be killed and Kharaj to be stopped in the way it was done, we are not going to go back. We are going to fight them whether we have ammunition or not. And the Prophet ﷺ spread his arm, and all the companions, all of them. And by the way, there are 4 women in this expedition. 4 women. The companions, of course, make bay'ah on the tree. That was known as the Bay'at al-Ridwan, that is Shajara, in the place known as Hudaybiyah, not too far from Mecca. So they give the Prophet pledge of allegiance that we are going to stand with you. We are going to fight. We are going to do whatever you ask us to do, Prophet ﷺ. Don't have any problem. Don't be worried. We are with you. We are not moving an inch until we do exactly what you want us to do. But then after that, and that was a very important point here, because they are no ammunition, no preparation, not ready, and also they were in what? Ihram. Just to show the Meccans that we are coming for Umrah. They are wearing the Ihram. Not ready for fight, but then it turned, everything just turned upside down, and the fight has to happen. We have to go and rescue Uthman. And Alhamdulillah, Uthman appeared unharmed, and Rasulullah had a treaty with the Meccans. They sent Suhail bin Amr. It's a very important name, Suhail. The Meccans sent Suhail bin Amr, who came to sign a treaty, or if you want, or a truce, hudna, like let us not fight, Muhammad, you just go, next time you can come. Because the Meccans say, we don't want to allow Muhammad and the people to come and force the Umrah on us. Arabs are going to speak bad about us, that we are so weak that the Prophet ﷺ did not even ask permission, and he just forced himself. We cannot allow it to happen, and they have to be stopped. Go back and then come the other time, we according to the agreement. So Suhail bin Amr and the Prophet ﷺ inked the agreement, and there is a remarkable point to reflect upon at the point when the agreement is been written, because the Prophet ﷺ asked Ali ibn Abi Talib to write. Ali ibn Abi Talib, and this is something the youth were so strong. Alhamdulillah, Ali ibn Abi Talib was asked to write the treaty, and the Prophet ﷺ asked him to write Min Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Suhail ibn Amr said, man, if we accepted Bismillah, that is Allah, we wouldn't have this problem. We don't believe in Allah, so just write the way we used to know. So the Prophet ﷺ asked Ali to erase and write Bismillahum. They all believe Bismillahum by the name of Allah. Allahumma and Allah is the same. Allahumma is Ya Allah. Allahumma is Ya Allah, which became Allahumma. So Ya Allah, it's what? short form of Allahum is short form of Ya Allah. So they believe that the God exists, but but Muhammad's Allah, and something they don't want. So he said, we don't believe in that, so we don't want to. Let us go back to the way we used to do our writings. Bismika Allahum. Rasulullah said, Ali. So Ali changed it from Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim to Bismika Allahum. So he said, Min Muhammad Rasulullah. This from Muhammad Rasulullah. He said, well, come on, Muhammad Rasulullah. If we believe that you are a prophet from Allah, this won't be here, and you won't be suffered. You not be. So we don't want trouble. You are not what we think a prophet. So we don't want it. It's not going to happen. And again, the Prophet ﷺ asked Ali. I mean, we have to learn from the seerah. The seerah is not just to listen and just go back and sleep. To see how we can do things. As long as there's a way for you to achieve what you want to achieve, there are certain things that can let go. No, I mean, there are strong men like Umar said, Rasulullah, this is not going to happen. I'm not going to allow this to happen. Why should we erase Allah's name? You know, the youth today will say the same. Why would you use Allah's name? No, it's going to be fair. Let's kill them. Let's kill him. You know, and take it easy. I mean, think of the future. What do you want to achieve? And how do you achieve it? So he said, take Bismillah and write Bismika Allahum. And Umar was so furious and said, Prophet, are we not on the right? I'm doubtful. I mean, are we not on the right? He said, we are. He said, okay, why are we allowing this kuffar to do this? No, and he was lying. He was not just he was like, and he is always lying, Umar. He went around furious and ready to fight and do anything to stop this from happening. Rasulullah's name, they don't want to even accept Rasulullah in Allah's name. This won't happen. And the blood is boiling in his body. And Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, and just look at the two great generals of Islam. Generals. If I mean generals, they are more than the generals that you know today in our world today. The real people, the real commanders. Abu Bakr went to Umar and said, Umar, ilzam gurzak. Ilzam gurzah. And stay put where the Prophet ﷺ asked you to stay. Because he wanted to refuse that these changes take place. He wasn't rejecting the Prophet, but the Islam, the energy in him, his understanding is like, we can't allow these non-believers to do things the way they want. It looked like they are defeating us. The Prophet ﷺ said, no, Allah is with me and he will not let me down. So let's do it. I mean, so Abu Bakr said to Umar, Ya Umar, do not forget that he is a prophet of Allah. And I warn you that you stay put. Ilzam ghurza, which means stay exactly where the Prophet asked you to stay. Where he moved, move there. Where he moved, and go by his steps. Don't try to move far. Don't try to move further. He's alive. He's accepting it. Why wouldn't you? And these are many other times that Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu actually uses iman and time of the calmness of Abu Bakr to cool Umar down. It's a very, very important point. And then another point was when the Prophet passed, Umar came furious. No one would ever say he died. I mean, no one would ever say the Prophet died as long as I'm alive. And Umar was not released from this anger and this frustration until Abu Bakr again came, sighted the eye to him, and he couldn't. So they have different approach, but it's all part of the love for Islam. It's not about just hatred, but Umar was not rested about the way the non-believers was handling the issue, but the Prophet had a different understanding, different look. And this is how we learn from the seerah. And as long as there's a way to achieving our ultimate goal, don't let some minute things, some small issues to stop you from making some amendments, making some changes. As long as, it's not about aqidah, it's not about the faith stopping it. From Bismillah we have Bismillahum. From Muhammad, Rasulullah came from Muhammad bin Abdullah, and that's his name. So in the end, it was from Muhammad. This is what Muhammad bin Abdullah agreed with Suhail bin Amr on the terms that they would go back this year and come next year and do the Umrah. And if a Muslim go back to Mecca, they would not return him. But when a non-Muslim go back to Medina, they should return him. This looks like it's an unfair deal, but the Prophet smiled and said, ink it, and accepted it, and it became a source of openness to Muslims. And it's a lot of story from this treaty, very strange, but Muslims at the end were those who loved much, because in the end it was Kuffar, the Meccans, who came asking for this to end. They say when some Muslims come to Mecca, they don't send him back, they keep him. But when non-Muslims come to Medina, the Prophet should do what? Send him back. So if a Muslim go to Mecca, what's happening? He starts to do da'wah. Because he's saved. But when it happened, someone come to Medina and the Prophet said, no, this agreement, go back. He said, Prophet, I want to, Islam. He said, this is my word, I give him my word. Go back and Allah will make a way for you. And the Muslims, as a Muslim, wherever you go, you are like rain. You benefit. If you are in Islamic state, you're still productive. When you are where there is no Islam, you are active and productive. When you are at home, when you are in the public, when it's during the hard time, when you have everything, when you don't have everything, you should be positive and productive. And when they've seen that this is not going well with them, they came and say, no, we want to stop this deal. It's not serving us. And this is how, the Seerah moved at this time, very strong. And also, the Prophet ﷺ moving 1,500 strong men from Medina to Mecca. It's another sign of, showing the power of Muslims. And the return was not weak, because the Meccans, and that is another fifth or seventh characteristic of this era, that they have accepted Islamic states publicly. The Meccans have accepted, because signing an agreement is is that they have publicly accepted the existence of the Islamic states and Islamic power. Before, they thought they were just like, guerrillas, who just hit and run. But now they are dealing with states. They are dealing with a system. They are dealing with a power. So this really was a very achieved. It was one of the great achievements, Sulh al-Hudaybiyah. And during that Sulh also, at the end of Sulh, after this treaty was inked, the Prophet ﷺ told the companions, the crowd was still very frustrated. Those who did not comprehend the wisdom behind signing this agreement with all these components. The Prophet ﷺ asked them to three things: to slaughter the sacrifice, and to shave their head and get out of ihram. None of the companions did. So the Prophet ﷺ went to his tent, very sad, and Salama, his wife, said, why are you so sad? He said, man, I asked people to do this and none of them listen to me, because they want to go to Mecca. It's like, bro, you had a dream, and the dream had to be true. We want to see your dream true, Rasulullah. We want to help you. And these Meccans, we don't have to let them, we can go. So this is there's two different ways. They are not disobeying the Prophet in the terms of, challenging him, but they didn't do it because of their eagerness to go to Medina and to Mecca and do the Umrah. So you have to differentiate between Asyan. Of course, they should have listened. That is something, we're not saying it's credit. We're not giving them credit for not listening to him, because he doesn't speak from his own whims. مَا يَنْتِقْ عَنِ الْهَوَىٰ إِنْ هُوَ إِلَّا وَحْيٌ يُوحَىٰ. The companions should have listened to him. وَمَا أَتَاكُمُ الرَّسُولُ فَخُذُوهُ. Whatever the Prophet brings to you, take it. وَمَا نَهَاكُمْ عَنْهُ فَانْتَهُوا. So they didn't act based on the Prophet ﷺ command, and he went to his wife Salama, strong lady, strong woman, The role of woman, and she said, Prophet, don't just tell them, go and do it. She said, oh, he said, go and do it. Go and do it. He went out, slaughter his sacrifice, shave his head, get out of the haram, and see, guess what? All the companions started doing it. It's a woman. A woman. The power of great sisters of Islam. The power of dissent. The power of thinking. The power of positive thinking in our sisters who actually made the history. Maybe one day we will just have a lecture. I don't know how long it's going to be. The role of women in the making of the Islam, in the making of Islam. Nusayba, Salama, Khansa, Fatima, Asma, Khadija, Aisha, many names, many names, between white and black and green. Do you know that the Prophet ﷺ was fed by a black woman? This has to be a headline. Everybody has to know that. A black woman fed Rasulullah ﷺ and took care of him, trained him. So he was trained by a black lady. It's not a matter of black and white thing, but it's a history that has to be on everybody's access. So don't think that do you know that among the Prophet ﷺ's God, there are many people of color who were the best and the first? Do you know that Bilal ibn Rabah is not only the Mu'adhin, he is the financial minister of Islam. Many other things. There are among those who were given the glad title of Jannah, there is a black lady. Not one or two, three. There are many, more than 6 or 7 black women who were given the glad title of going to Jannah. In the book that we have, Al-Shirin al-Bashir, there are 20 or even more women who were given the glad title of going to Jannah before they even died. 20 women. And these are lists. It's not the whole of these are all what history could pass. There are many. So it's very important that we understand this and digest and look at the history in its from all corners and not just as one side of it. So there are 4 women in this expedition, Hudaybiyah, and Salama, with her wisdom and understanding, saved the situation, and the Prophet ﷺ went back to Mecca, to Medina. And after this, another most flashiest characteristic of this era, of this phase, is, of course, we've spoken about the open acceptance of Islamic State by the Meccans from the treaty. Another one is Al-I'lan al-Alami lil-Islam, the international declaration of Islam. Islam has, been presented to all leaders of the world. The Prophet ﷺ sent messengers to An-Najashi, of Abyssinia, and Al-Muqawqis, the king of Egypt, and Kisra, the king of Persia, and Qaisar, the king of Byzantium, Rome, to inform them about the Islam and to spread Islam across. So this phase actually have seen the important part. And also this era also seen قيادات إقبال القيادات العدو في الإسلام. Many of the non-Muslim leaders embracing Islam, like Khalid bin Walid, who was a warrior, and Khalid bin Walid is worth 1,000 fighters by himself. One person is worth 1,000 fighters. He embraced Islam, and many top fighters who were in the camp such as Islam. And the last 2 very important characteristic of this era is the Prophet ﷺ moving to Mecca, and that led to the conquest of Mecca. The Prophet ﷺ moved with 10,000 strong Muslims from Medina to Mecca, and it was without any resistance. And the Prophet ﷺ forgive or announced or proclaimed forgiveness to all those who have committed erroneous sins and many mistakes in the past. And the Meccans surrounded and said, Ya Rasulullah, we ask for forgiveness and kindness. So he told them, ماذا تظنون أني فاعل بكم? What do you think you deserve? What do you think you deserve from me? What do you think I should do with you, Meccans, who have fought us gallantly, who have stood in front of Da'wah and did all these ugly things? And the Prophet ﷺ said, and they said, when he asked them, what do you think you deserve from all what you've done? They said, Akhun Kareem, Wabn Akhin Kareem. We know you to be a generous, a great brother, and the son of great brother. So we don't expect anything wrong. We don't expect anything bad from you. You are a great brother and the son of great brother. Akhun Kareem, Wabn Akhin Kareem. So the Prophet ﷺ said, of course, all I'm going to say to you is, idhabu fa antum tulaqa. Go, you're free. I'm not going to harm any one of you today. And he went to Mecca and broke into pieces all the idols and was reciting وَقُلْ جَاءَ الْحَقِّ وَزَهَقَ الْبَاطِلِ إِنَّ الْبَاطِلَ كَانَ زَهُوقًا. جَاءَ الْحَقِّ, the truth has come, has emerged. وَزَهَقَ الْبَاطِلِ, and the falsehood has what? Slide away. إِنَّ الْبَاطِلَ كَانَ زَهُوقًا. Falsehood indeed, it runs quick or slides away, fades away in the face of light and truth. And the Prophet ﷺ stayed in Mecca for 19 days. 19 days in Mecca before returning back to Medina after he taught them what to do and showed them Islam and leadership and put many companions in position. And make sure that Mecca becomes another city of faith, and all the idols were gone. And he asked one of the companions, who said in a loud voice, Man kana yu'minu billahi wal yawmil akhir fala yada'u sanaman illa kasara. Whoever believes in Allah and the last day should not leave any idol except that idol is broken into pieces. No one who believes in Allah and the last day should leave an idol in his home, but the idol should be broken into pieces. And this is how the Prophet ﷺ went back to Medina, only to return as agreed with Kuffar to make what? After the agreement, the Prophet ﷺ went back to Medina and then came to do what is known as what? Farewell al-Hajj. The Prophet ﷺ made Hajj only one time in his lifetime. So some people they may not be aware of that. Only a Hajj was done. He did only a Hajj one time only. So after the Hajj, the Prophet ﷺ came later, and the conquest of Mecca took place, and he stayed 19 days and then went back. And then Allah Ta'ala called him to his side, and he was sick, and as you all know the story, he died after that. And as we said, this history is not to mention detailed things, his sickness or some few things that happened, but just to mention some major things that happened as planned by the author of the book. And also one thing that we should not forget before we close this chapter is one of the most standing issues at this era, at this phase, is the marriages of the Prophet ﷺ. The previous marriages were for internal building. Khadija, Sauda, and Aisha. These are the marriage of the Prophet ﷺ Mecca and Medina. In Mecca before Hijrah. But all the marriages came to intensify and to glue the Islam and to present Islam with the tribes and to the leaders of the tribes, or the other people like Maria al-Qibtiyya, who came from all the way from Egypt, and also with Safiya, who was a Jewish lady, and so many, and then also Zainab bin Jahash, who is from Bani Asad. So the marriages took different connection to Jewish, to Christian, to other tribes of Arabs, and there are many times when people embrace Islam in crowd because of their connection, because they are now the Prophet's in-laws. So it has many benefits in that sense. So it was marriages for da'wah marriage. So the Prophet ﷺ got married in order to reach all other tribes. It wasn't easy. Arabs, the mentality, if you read the history, if you are close to them by marriage, is different from someone who is not close. You can easily speak to them, they will easily receive you, they will even listen to you better. So all of these marriages took place in that. But I'm not calling the brothers and to say, well, I need to make da'wah, so I need to take many in order to get to the people. That is something I have to study that before we can approve it. Inshallah, may Allah bless you all. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala add this time that you've invested into your scale, the day when all that matters is good deed. I ask Allah that inshallah this meeting in this place, Lighthouse, comes inshallah a source of our easy path to Jannah inshallah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Benefit from the seerah that we've read, it shouldn't be the same person. I mean, a Muslim should not be the same today as he was yesterday. Every day should be different. It should be achieving. It should be moving forward. And that is how we can, inshallah, be better and meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, inshallah, the best way. So yesterday we mentioned that this phase, which is the final phase, it is the phase that seen Islam moving. Someone to put it, paradigm shifts. This stage has seen the paradigm shift from being the state of weakness to the strength, state of defending to initiating attack, to the Meccans who were plotting day in, day out and planning all the time to eradicate Islam. So it was a very significant stage to see Muslims now taking the fight to those who were ready to fight them instead of waiting to defend. And that was very important, especially after the birth of the Islamic State. There's no any reason or any justification to always remain the weak and the one who has to do all the job, defending yourself, defending your family. You have to make sure that you defend by letting they were tamed and everything was having to be in control. On their way back, and it's a very small expedition, but it has begot so many problems and issues which has become so remarkable in the history of Ummah al-Islam. It was during this expedition return that the Hadith al-Ifk happened. And that is the Hadith al-Ifk, in which Aisha radiallahu anha was accused of some bad behavior, or she was accused in her honor. So that's Hadith al-Ifk. It was, I think, here on the board yesterday. Another incident that happened during this expedition is Abdullah ibn Ubay ibn Salul, although because some hypocrites joined the forces of Medina to discipline Al-Harith bin Abi Durar. Some misunderstanding happened between a Muhajir and Ansari, one of the immigrants and one of the Ansari folks, and they disagree on the water. Just, who has the right to drink the water first, and it led to physical fight, and they all call upon their supporters. The Ansari call upon Ansar for help, and the Muhajir call on the Muhajirin for help. Just like what happened, Bismillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad, wa ala ali Muhammadin wa raham Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad, kama sallayta wa rahimta wa barakta ala Ibrahim, wa ala ali Ibrahim fil alameen innaka hamidun majid. All praise is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I will give thanks to Allah for making it easy and possible for us to be here today and to, alhamdulillah, complete the series. We've started some few weeks ago. It's ni'mah when you start something and are able to accomplish. It's ni'mah when you have started something and come to an end, but it's not an end, it's a new beginning. We are going to end today with the second part of the phase 5, which is according to the systematic approach designed by the author of the book. But now I'm saying this is the end of the class that we've summarized. We didn't say anything. We didn't read everything from the book. It's just summary. We just mentioned some key points from the book. But for us, you and I, and those of us who are listening to the class, we are beginning. That is, we begin where the seerah ends. We have to start from where the Prophet ﷺ ends. And now we read the story and not only go back to our own or the previous state of doing business, doing things. We have to modify ourselves, try to make some changes, try to do more than we have done before, in order to at least the enemy know that you are strong and you can defend yourself, to protect yourself. That's in conformity with the statement, with the saying that prevention is better than cure. Prevent the war instead of trying to cure yourself. So that is actually seen in this stage. We've also mentioned a very important issue at this stage, that is Hadith al-Ifk. And Hadith al-Ifk is the tale of the slander, or if you want, the lie, the greatest lie, al-Ifk, which was afflicted upon the family of Ar-Risala, the Prophet ﷺ, his wife, Abu Bakr, and of course it was initiated by the hypocrites, led by the guru of the hypocrites, the leader, Abdullah bin Ubay bin Salul. But the gravest part of it is that some good souls, wonderful believers, have joined this in this issue, in this case, and have actually transmitted the information across, and they were also being advised by Islam on how to handle things. And we have said yesterday how to deal with issues of community building when we have cases when things sometimes fall apart or some brothers committing some mistakes. Aisha radiallahu anha was the target, but of course the ultimate target is Prophet and Islam for that matter. These incidents happened during the expedition of Bani al-Mustaliq, Ghazwat Bani al-Mustaliq. It was one of the smallest. It's one of the smallest expedition to it's a warfare that took place. The Prophet ﷺ attacked the Al-Harith bin Dirar and his tribe, Bani al-Mustaliq is a tribe name. Banu means Banu, Abna, the children of Mustaliq. Because the Prophet ﷺ received a credible information that their leader, or the head of the tribe, whose name is Al-Harith bin Dirar, Al-Harith bin Abi Dirar, is planning and preparing and arranging to attack the Prophet ﷺ. So the information is credible, and the attack is imminent and is real. So the Prophet ﷺ, as we said, that's the major characteristic of this era, is that we don't wait again. When we had credible information, we don't have to wait until we attack in our own home and get our families, children, women, and old people get killed. So with the information being confirmed, the Prophet ﷺ moved to stop him and to fight him, since he has already declared war. So it was very short time, about 3-4 days. It didn't take that long, and the fight didn't happen